Before we begin, can I get a show of hands for everyone who had breakfast this morning? Now, raise your hand if you didn't have breakfast this morning. Okay, raise your hand if you don't know if you had breakfast this morning. Awesome. Hi, I'm Liana Gardner, aka Liana Empowers, and yes, I am all of those things. But let me take you on a little journey. I was in full blown, miserable midlife crisis at the age of 40. I didn't even know who I was anymore. I had so many dreams growing up, but my life didn't resemble any of them. I was in a deeply abusive job situation, hanging on to provide financial stability for my family. I was a single parent with two teenage daughters in full rebellion mode, and I was giving away all my life force energy, catering to others, and going unfulfilled inside. I felt overwhelmed and lifeless at that point. But one thing saved me. In the midst of all those negative circumstances, I had an epiphany, a life changing moment where, in the midst of playing small and playing it safe, I discovered my purpose. My purpose is to serve others by empowering them to no longer play small, but to step out of their comfort zones and do what your soul came here to do. That tiny spark in the midst of all that chaos lit a fuse in me that turned my life completely around. It became the energy that guides and drives me to live my purpose and passion. And for the last 12 years, I've been a transformational coach and empower mentor, and now a best-selling author who's helped thousands all over the world reconnect to their inner power to live the amazing lives they were born to live. I'm here today to show you how to choose for you and fall madly in love with your life again in midlife. So, who here would love to know my 6P system to reclaim your happiness and finally let go of fear, excuses, and discontent to create the next and best chapter of your life? Awesome. Let's begin. This first P, if you don't reconnect to this P, you may be led by your rational and overthinking mind. Type agree in the chat if you've ever done this. Stress, anxiety, and fear may take over your life, leaving you feeling drained and unhappy. But when you connect to the source of this P, you'll start to see new and exciting possibilities for your life. You may find it easier to regulate your emotions, and you might even experience better health. You'll find a whole new passion for life with more drive, confidence, and determination. This P is power. Reconnect to your power. Your power is not what many of you have been conditioned to believe. It can't be found solely in the mind. On the contrary, your heart is your true power source. Once you reconnect to it, life takes on a whole new meaning. The heart is the core of who we are, which I call your center of radiant energy. It's what doctors look for as the first sign of life in a pregnant mother. I recall so vividly hearing my own daughter's first heartbeats. It was one of the most magical moments of my life. But the heart starts taking a back seat to the mind right after birth when we begin being programmed by all the well-intentioned people in our lives, our parents, teachers, caregivers, and friends. And we get caught up in the program and begin living our lives based on other people's truths. We get lost in belief systems that don't even belong to us. And we spend most of our adult lives trying to get back to that core, that place that we knew at birth, the heart that has everything we need for this journey. We've had it all along. I have a short but important video I want to share with you. Now it's about 7 minutes long, but it will show you the power of the heart, some things you may not even have seen before. I'll see you on the other side of it. Now raise your hand if you got any new revelations after seeing this. Now that you know the power of the heart, think about how much of our sacred power we give away to others in our lives. We suppress our true desires by living from the neck up. But when we reconnect to our heart, we're able to feel and do what it is we came here to do. We can think about how we can serve others and begin to connect the dots as to how we're all connected. Happiness is truly an inside job, and it's your responsibility to create your own happiness, and you can do so by reconnecting to your power. The heart is your internal power source. Now do you understand the importance of this first P to reclaiming your happiness? What is this P? Power. Now, the second P is a game changer as well. If you don't embrace this P, you may tend to feel like others are constantly running over you. You may even find yourself living other people's narratives for your life. It might even cause you to put your own dreams on the back burner, leaving you feeling resentful of others and yourself. But implement this P, and you could have better, happier relationships in your life and experience the freedom of living life on your own terms. You'll even have the option to reconnect to your long-lost dreams, leaving you happier and more fulfilled. A show of hands for who wants to know what this second P is. P2 is prioritize. Putting yourself first in life. Choosing for you. Life doesn't just happen to us. We have the opportunity to create it in any way we'd like. Your soul came here to have the fullest expression of itself. To learn, to grow, to expand and explore. However, for various reasons, we sometimes get bogged down by trying to meet the expectations of others, of society, and more. And we lose ourselves in the narrative others create for us. Now take a look at this slide. So now you know that you need to make yourself happy too. But we got to develop the fortitude to prioritize ourselves and put us first. Some reasons we don't: guilt for thinking we should put others' needs before our own. We feel like we're being selfish, or maybe that we won't be accepted by society. It's quite possible to balance your own needs with the needs of others and still be happy and fulfilled. And are you ready to learn about one of the most important ways we can do this? It's by setting boundaries. Here are just a few of the benefits of setting boundaries. First, it can bring to focus you and your well-being. Next, you could even gain a greater sense of self-identity. And third, it'll help you get clear on who you are and what you want. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, setting boundaries has been one of the biggest challenges in my entire life. Raise your hand if you can relate to this. It caused problems in my relationship with my family, my siblings, my parents, with my daughters, and even in my marriage and my career. Can you guess why many people don't set boundaries? One of the main reasons is fear of rejection. No one wants to be rejected. That's huge. Show of hands for anyone here who's ever felt that fear. So we're going to take about 4 minutes to do a brief exercise together on setting healthy boundaries. If you would kindly take out your pens and your workbook and begin now to complete the activity on page 3 of your workbook. Did any of you have any aha moments or gain any new insights? Setting boundaries is not always easy, but know that you and the quality of your life are worth it. Putting yourself first, making you a priority, is critical to your health and well-being. It's critical to your goals and dreams and overall happiness as well. Your spirit is counting on you to be bold and prioritize for you. Now do you understand the importance of this P to your life? What's this P again? Prioritize. Now this third P is a doozy. Can I get a show of hands if you've ever let fear or stinking thinking control your life? Think of how much that's held you back. How often have you dimmed your light so others could shine? Type wow in the chat now if that resonates with you. Ignore this P and you could seriously stunt your growth. Shift this P though, and you'll be riding the wave of blissful living. You may even feel empowered to step out of your comfort zone and play bigger than you've ever played. You could even develop a whole new perspective on life. And you'll learn to embrace challenges in a more empowered way. There's nothing that can stop you. This P is programming, overcoming limiting beliefs that have held you bound. The program we've been running much of our lives has been programmed into our subconscious since we were very young. That program is someone else's. It's not even our truth and doesn't even serve us anymore. Think about how that program in your mind shows up in your life. Free yourself from the clutches of this P in my Grown Sexy Freedom Academy. Spots are limited, so be sure to click the link on the screen now to save your space. And we'll talk a little more about that in the coming Ps. The program you're running often shows up as your fears, excuses, and insecurities. The only way we can change the program is to become consciously aware of when these fears, excuses, and insecurities show up in our thoughts, beliefs, and the habits that we've developed as a result of the program. We can then begin to heal by changing the words we think and speak, as well as developing new healthy habits.